Hare Krishna, all the devotees, everyone. Good evening. So today we are continuing again our most important topic, the discussion which we are having. That is, we are continuing destiny part and free will part. We have, to some extent, we have discussed, but still it is to be explored a lot. So today we are going to again explore many new concepts which will be very helpful in our discussion. So first we understand this. Let us watch one video, and then we'll same fashion we'll start our discussion with prayers and all those things. So first I'll share one video. I request all of you to kindly watch it nicely. अच्छे से देखना सबको.
Before there were Roman Empire, different empires were there in this world. Many kings were there in our country too. But all those kingship, ruling, these things come and go in the flow of time. Nasato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sataha. Ubhayorapi drishtvantas tvanayos tattvadarshibhihi. Ubhayorapi drishtvantas tattvadarshibhihi have analyzed both the relative truth and the absolute truth, and then they have concluded that this is absolute truth and we shall be after that absolute truth. Krishna brings this up in the second chapter very early in the Bhagavad Gita to make Arjuna understand. Please understand what is the body and what is the soul in the body, which is a particle of that absolute truth, of the same nature of absolute truth. Tattvamasi. This is Vedic statement. Tattvamasi. You are also like that absolute truth, a particle. That is why Prabhupada is using Vishnu Kalaasi. Tattvamasi. Tvam Tattasi. You, Tvam, you are that, not this. This will be gone. This beauty, this body, this, you are not this. Tat Tvam Asi. These are Vedic statements, Chandogya Upanishad, which is telling, we are that. You are that. That refers to that absolute truth. You belong to that. You are a particle of that. You are not this. Bones, blood, flesh. This is we are not this. To convey that.
Yes, so what was the insight, the most important understanding from this small clip? Can anybody share? Very important instruction Prabhu gave about relative truth and absolute truths and the difference between both of them. What is absolute truth? What is relative truth? And what the intelligent man he is aspiring for? What is his goal? What is his desires? So yes, all of you can help me in understanding more better way. Nice understanding. So yes, please. What is relative truth, by the way, and what is absolute truth? First question. What is relative truth and what is absolute truth? Okay, no idea. I'll explain. Relative truth means which is dependent on the time, which is under the influence of time. That is called relative truth, which is not fact in all the three facets of time. Time has got three phases: past, present, and future. Any object you take, if it is present, it is truth. It exists in all the three phases of time. That means it is true. Otherwise, truth by default, truth means absolute truth. Otherwise, that truth is not real truth, actual truth, that is relative truth. Anything which passes away with the time, which fades away with time, just like a flower you take. Flower 3 days before it was not there. Today it is now fully blossomed, having a nice fragrance, good aroma coming out, and good texture is there in the flower, rose flower. But after 2 or 3 days, again it will dwindle and it will just dry and vanishes. So that means the existence of flower is not the absolute truth. This is relative truth. Our body, our this body, this appearance, the power, the strength, the intelligence, the skill set, all those things, are they relative truth or absolute truth? And understanding is, the answer is, these are all relative truths. None of our opulence which we may have, maybe it beauty or intelligence or good facility, good ambience, good surrounding, or bad, bad. Somebody is not very intelligent, somebody is not very beautiful, somebody is not having power, somebody is less intelligent, somebody is less powerful, somebody is less beautiful. All these things also, and people may criticize you, may make fun of you. So that is also not going to last for a long time. That is also dependent on the time. Time will pass everything, time will kill everything. So all these things are relative truth. And a person who is intelligent, Kovida means sharp, intelligent person, he will not be after this relative truth. He will be after absolute truth. What is absolute truth? Because the nature of us is absolute truth. Now you see, when something happens to us in our body, then we feel pain, we suffer, we are into anxiety, because we don't want all these things. We want eternal happiness, we want eternal bliss, we want eternal existence. Now you see, in this coronavirus outbreak, nobody wants to die. That therefore people are following so many rules, guidelines, so many remedial measures they are following, and wearing masks and using sanitizer, very very alert to mingle with anybody. So much of precautions we are taking. Why? Because what is the inside thought is that if I don't follow all these things, then I may get infected by this virus, and if it attacks me, then I may lose my life. So people are scared, they are horrified. Why? Because there is a fear of death. One may call that I'm not fearful, but that fear factor is inbuilt in all of us. Suppose somebody is there taking bath in some reservoir of water, river or whatever, pond, and suppose what happens, you get slipped and you start getting drowned. That time you may be very very bold. No, no, I don't fear death. That time you will start crying and raising hand, please save me, please save me. That means it all shows that we are not, our nature, intrinsic nature is not to die, not to become old. Nobody likes old age, nobody wants death, nobody wants diseases. But these things are imposed upon us much against our wish. Everybody wants to remain always handsome, yes or no, beautiful, smart. Rajnikant, the South Indian actor, he was 70 years old. If you see him practically, he is, all his bodily limbs are invalid now. He cannot, he's become so black and all those things. But he also wants to become very handsome, smart. Whenever he will come on the stage, on the platform, then he will have so nice get up and makeup and all those things. It will appear that he is 30, 40 years old man. That means he doesn't want to portray or display his own original identity of a old man, because nobody will like it, and he himself does not like. Everybody wants to remain young, but the time will not allow us to remain young. We have to become old. Today we may be on the happy condition, and no miseries are there, but miseries will come. It will just like this coronavirus. So there are so many viruses are waiting to us. What will happen 2023, 24? We don't have any clue. We are just like that, only passing statements. We don't care. I don't care. You don't care, but time cares you. Don't worry. So these are all relative truths. It will come and go. Virus will come and go. Intelligence is there, it will go away. But our intrinsic nature is to always remain eternally blissful, eternally youthful, eternally full of wisdom. Nobody, suppose if somebody passes the comment that you are not very intelligent, you are buddhu, then it hurts us, and it hurts us. That means we want to be knowledgeable, we want knowledge, we are always aspiring to get knowledge from so many sources. But this is our desire, but we are always deficit in knowledge, having deficiency. So if you analyze like this, then Bhagavad Gita says that ultimately we are trying to have these three things every now and then. Every moment we are trying to become complete. And in order to become complete, we are trying to have these three things. What? Eternity, knowledge, and bliss. If you just sit and analyze your life, you will see that we are always running for these three things, either of the three things. Either it is eternity. Eternity means youthfulness, no miseries, no old age. We should always remain young, no problem. So this is called eternity. And knowledge, either you are seeking for knowledge, or then bliss. We are trying to gratify our senses and want to achieve happiness. So either of the three things we are always running for. Whole world is running, all the innovations. Now we have explored out space. We have invented so many discoveries has been done now, invented countless ways to tantalize our senses, to gratify our senses. And scientific and engineering marvels are being developed every now and then. Scientists are after so many inventions, 24/7 in the NASA, India, DO, everywhere. They are doing all the research work. What is the basic idea? Basic idea is this: we want to achieve happiness, bliss, or we want to have full knowledge about the universe. What is this universe all about? Who am I? Why am I dying? Why am I not young always? What is that gene? Why I should go and modify that gene, and we should always remain young. So all this research is going on. What is causing us to become old? What is that force which is forcing us to get disease or old? So you see, all of us are trying to have all these things. But this is all relative truth. Our desires, our intrinsic characteristic is absolute. So that's what Prabhu said. We are that. We are part of, because we are part of absolute truth. Krishna, whose nature is Satchidanand. Krishna's embodiment is of Satchidanand. Krishna's personality is full of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Therefore, because we are part of him, so we are always trying to achieve all these things. But here in this material world, we are strongly bound by law of karma and laws of nature. So we cannot have that experience here in this material world. We are fully destined. Our experiences will be based on our destiny. So how to change our destiny? That is today's discussion. So this was about the video, which is very important at this stage to understand where we are now. That there is absolute truth which is beyond relative truth, and what to do with that absolute truth. Today we'll discuss that. So before that, let us have some important prayers, as we every day do. So kindly repeat after me, fold your hands and just try to follow me. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So yes, I'll share one screen of Prabhupada, where Prabhupada very nicely gives another very nice understanding, just like yesterday we had. Yes. So yesterday we understood what is destiny, and Prabhupada very nicely explained what is destiny. Again, I'll repeat so that those who are not there may understand, or if you were there, so it will be reinforced and we can understand better way. So Prabhupada starts that, I'll explain myself itself. Prabhupada was saying that just like earlier, financial status was not so high. People were not so rich. But that time, things were also not very costly. So Prabhupada took the example of a servant. Suppose earlier, sir, because financial status was not so high, people were having less money. So even man forces were also available on less monetary. You pay very less amount and they will be available. So earlier, you can get servant on 10 rupees, 20 rupees per month. And that was the situation. But now we have developed so much, we have advanced so much, we have all the facilities. Now we are earning in millions, we have 5-digit salary, but parallelly, all other things are becoming costly. The value of money is the same. Maybe you have good money, but the money value has reduced, in fact. And you have to pay more money to get employees, to get servants, like that. So Prabhupada then said, just see, so either you are in that circumstance or this circumstance, your happiness is fixed, and that is called destiny. So Prabhupada said, because we are destined, we will have that happiness, amount of happiness and distress, no matter how much money you earn. So then we understood in this regard that there is something called circle of destiny, and I explained that bit. Today I will explain much better way by one PPT. So again, further what Prabhupada says, that is very nice and important also to understand. So Prabhupada is saying here, therefore Bhagavad says that do not try to change your destiny. Everyone is trying to change the destiny. I am poor, I must be very rich man. But you cannot change your destiny. Now I will here share another thing which is very important for all of us to understand, that why Prabhupada is saying this. You look into this now. These two analogies are very important to. This is one and another. So this example Prabhupada gives of a cow which is tied with the rope and other end is bound by a pole. So this is the situation of a cow which is there on the screen. You can have a look over it. Now here the understanding is cow is tied by one end and another end is bound by the pole, and cow is let loose to graze. For grazing it is left there. Now cow is free to graze, to graze green grasses. Here the understanding is, which we can derive, cow is independent also and controlled also. Where it is independent? In the circle of the radius equal to the length of the rope, that cow is independent to move. In the circle of radius equal to the length of the rope. In that circle, cow can move very easily and graze the green grasses very nicely. by using its free will. Cow can use its free will to go in this direction to graze or in another direction to graze grass. Any direction it can go and chew the green grasses, enjoy the green grasses. But so inside the circle, cow is independent, free to go and enjoy anywhere the green grasses. But the cow is at the same time fully controlled. It cannot cross the circle. Beyond circle, it cannot move. Yes or no? Whatsoever cow can do, it cannot go beyond the circle. Inside the circle, yes, you have choice. So the circle is like destiny, and inside is like using your free will and choice. So life is between B and D. Birth and death is what? What is between B and D? It comes which letter? C letter. So letter C means choice. So we are all having choices. That is the difference between a human being and a robot. We can have choices, we can have free will. And by utilizing that free will, we can maximize our enjoyment by increasing the length. And by misutilizing your free will and choice, you can shorten your length. So that facility is there given to us. You have the facility by using your free will and choice. You can stretch, you can elongate your rope and get more independence and free will to graze green grass. And suppose a cow is tied with a rope which is very short, then the independence of cow is limited. Suppose another cow is there, its rope is long, 10 meters suppose. Previous one was 5 meter. Now this cow is tied with 10-meter rope. Now another cow is there. It is tied with 20 meters rope. So that cow's independence is more than this compared to these two cows. So that freedom is given to us by utilizing our free will and choice. How to have free will and what kind of choice you should make. And human life is meant to understand this, where to put our choice, on what basis our choices should be made, where should we utilize our free will. So this is intelligence given to human being. This is the difference, in fact, between human being and rest of the species. World has been inhabited by so many varieties of species of life. But what differentiates human from the rest is this. In this human form of life, you have that ability to choose, choice you have, free will you have. That by utilizing your free will, you can increase the length of the rope. And in fact, so much so that you can increase the length unlimitedly and become independent fully. Yes, that is, and in fact, that is the only purpose of human form of life. The only purpose of human form of life, that cut through this rope, cut this the rope called destiny. Not that we are destined, so we'll be always under the control of destiny. No, there is a way how to cut through this destiny and cut through this rope and become independent cow and go and enjoy anywhere the green grass. But in that case, if you cut the rope of a cow which is wild, which is not controlled, then if you cut, it will go and create harm. So a person who is not self-controlled, who is having all the dirty desires, all the contaminated desires, all the bad propensities, and if you don't control him by destiny, you make him free, then he will create more problems in the society for himself individually and collectively also. So therefore, this destiny is Krishna has put upon everyone. If this destiny would not be there, then people will create havoc by misutilizing their free will. But there is utilization of free will if you properly utilize by using the right kind of choice, then your length of the rope will be increased and it can be cut also. It can be pierced, break into pieces also. So that is the purpose of human life. So anyway, in this life, currently our situation is like this cow. Somebody has the rope little shorter, somebody has little longer. Everybody is having different length of the rope, but everybody's neck is tied. Everybody's life is controlled by destiny with different radius of circle, like this. We all are having this circle in our life. Somebody's circle is of 5 radius, 5 meters, somebody is 10 meters, somebody is 20 meters, somebody is 100 meters. जिसका रेडियस छोटा है उसकी लाइफ में खूब सारे प्रॉब्लम्स हैं. ऑल द प्रॉब्लम्स, health problem, financial problem, social problem, physical problem, relational problem, all kinds of problem. जिसकी सर्कल छोटा है, जिसका सर्कल बड़ा है, he has more luxury, happiness is more, and all those things. So what happens when we commit sin? Just like in yesterday's class we were discussing, somebody is committing sin, his circle will be reduced. कोई कुछ बोलता ना, there are many people they say, oh, I don't care all these rules. Don't care. Today you have got bigger circle of bigger independence. You have more other access of the areas, more are there in your favor. So you can make such statements because you had performed good karma in your previous life. Therefore, you got a bigger circle based on that karma. But now you are misutilizing your circle and trying to harm others. Don't worry. You are under the stringent laws of nature, law of karma. It will get shortened. Your circle will get shortened so much so that you will become animal. So animals don't have any free will. They are just acting instinctively, and they don't have any choice. They are so designed that they will work in that way. Hog, you can take class hours together, but that you should not eat stool. Stool is very dirty, very a nasty thing not to eat. You should have halwa. I'll prepare hot halwa for you. But despite of having 10 hours lecture to hog will, if you lose the hog, it will immediately run for stool. Where is stool? Where is stool? Because hog is instinctively acting out of its instinct. There is no free will. Acha, I should choose or not choose. Because of its misdeeds in the past life, now that hog body is given to him according to his desire in the past life. And now he is trying to satisfy those desires. Somebody is indiscriminately eating anything in anything and everything, doing indiscriminately, indulging into all kinds of sex, not caring for whether sister or whatever. In the next life, he will become hog. Now, in the hog body, you don't have any social pressure. You don't have any fear. Log kya bolenge? You can have sex with your mother, sister, daughter, whatever, and you can enjoy all the luxury of eating stool indiscriminately. Now you eat indiscriminately. Nature is very, very compassionate and merciful. Nature will provide you that kind of body that now you go and enjoy. In this human form of life, you will have so many rules, regulation, guidelines, pressure of the society, pressure of the peers, and all those things. You cannot have all this thing, no. So nature is very merciful. Okay, you want this, go, I give you this body and enjoy. Somebody is very meat eater, so in this human form you cannot get meat and directly eat. You have to process, and you have to cook the meat and then first get it, then all those processes are involved. But if you are too much addicted to meat, then nature will provide you a suitable body called lion body. Now you are in the lion body, you have facility that you have got that particular structure. Also the shape of your body is like that. You have big nails, you pounce over animal and immediately you can enjoy without going through all the process of purchasing and boiling in the oil, putting all the spices and then wait for that, then you eat and enjoy. No, immediately you kill and enjoy. So these are the laws which we must follow. We are under the stringent laws of these things. So if you do bad activity, then your circle will be reduced. If you follow the rules and regulations of nature given to us, which Krishna has given in Bhagavad Gita, then your circle will be increased. It will increase, and you'll see that your happiness is also increasing by following the instructions of Krishna. And by default, if you're by default, by birth, your circle is very small and you have so many problems, so there is no solution for your problem. You will have problem because in your destiny it is there to suffer. You will suffer. So what is the solution? You may choose anything. You may go to any doctor. You may go to any consultant. You may go to, you may have good friends. But if it is there in your destiny, what is there? Your circle is only less. No, your circle is very small. So you will have you will have to suffer. So we have to increase our circle. If we can increase our circle, then our happiness can increase. Happiness level can increase. And that circle means destiny. Can destiny be changed? Yes, destiny can be changed by what? Otherwise, any activity you do, any philanthropy activity you do, आप चाहे पैसा ज्यादा कमा लो, destiny change नहीं होगा. Circle उतना ही उतना रहेगा. Circle will be intact. One thing you increase, other thing will be reduced. Like in this image you would be seeing, if you increase your suppose finance or so relationship or social life, है ना, नीचे आप देखेंगे social life, here it is social life. So social life, if you try to increase the happiness derived by social life, then other things will be reduced. So if by default you are being given this much area, this much enjoyment in social life you will have. Now if you try to maximize this area, then other areas will be reduced and other happiness will be reduced, but the circle will be intact. But there is way how to increase the circle, and that way is explained by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita itself. That in fact Brahma also said, Karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhajam govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajam. If you worship Govinda, if you follow his instruction, Krishna's instruction, if you chant his name, chanting Hare Krishna mantra, what will happen? Karmani nirdahati. Just like if you have been given some seeds, है ना? Suppose आपको गेहूं का बीज दिया गया, you have got wheat seeds. You have to sow in the land, and it will fructify. Yes, of course, obviously, if it is sown on the fertile land, it will fructify. But what happens if you fry the seed? You fry the seed, all the wheat seeds, then you sow in the ground, in the land, then will it germinate? It will not germinate. Why? Because now the seeds are fried into hot pan. In the same way, all our influence of destiny, it will be burned to ashes by chanting Hare Krishna. This is the instruction given by Brahma ji, and Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita that destiny can only be changed by devotional process, by worshipping to Krishna, because destiny is under the control of Krishna, and destiny can be changed only by Krishna and no other way. There is no other. If you think that I will worship this demigod, that demigods, and by the way, there is a misunderstanding of God also. That will also I take. Who is God? Krishna is God, Lord Shiva is God, Vishnu is God, Durga is God. Who is the supreme God? That also will have nice understanding. But by default, today you understand that because all the statements, all the scriptures unanimously say that Krishna is the supreme Lord. He is the absolute truth, and all others are relative truth. All other truths are dependent on Krishna, and Krishna is the Govindam Adi Purusham. He is the original personality of Godhead. The statement of Brahma ji is in fact accepting this. So because Krishna is the creator of everything, so he can change also. And no other demigod has got the power to change. No other personality, no other arrangements can change the destiny. So if you want to change, bring about change in your destiny, so only by approaching Krishna, you can change your destiny. Just like Arjuna. Arjuna's favor, there were no so many arrangements. On the other side, Duryodhana had all the arrangements. Big fighters, all those fighters like Bhishma, Drona, nobody have ever defeated till now to these fighters, these generals. And this side only Arjuna is there. But what was the result? Result was Arjuna emerged victorious in the battlefield. Why? Because he had one thing positive in his side, and that was not there in the side of Duryodhana. Even though Duryodhana had all those permutations and combinations, what he would have thought. Bhishma was there, Dronacharya, Karna was there, great generals, fighters were there. A person like Arjuna, they can Bhishma, Drona, Karna, they can defeat in 1 minute, 1 second. Bhishma was such a warrior that Arjuna is nowhere in front of Bhishma. But despite of having Bhishma, Karna, Drona, Kripacharya, all these great generals, fighters, Arjuna emerged victorious. Why? Because, because Krishna was there on the side of Arjuna. Krishna, just by the presence of Krishna on the side of Arjuna, Arjuna and party became victorious. Even though they apparently, externally, they had not all the arrangements like Duryodhana. Duryodhana had the 19 Akshoni Sena soldiers, means about 2 times more than Pandavas. Those many soldiers, fighters were there on the side of Duryodhana. And Arjuna's side, very less people were there to fight. But still, only because Krishna was there on the side of Arjun, so he emerged victorious. He broke through the destiny because the creator of destiny is Krishna. So finally, now in the series, we have understood that we are all destined. We all have a circle. Our neck is everybody's neck is tied with rope, strong rope, and we have to lead our life in that circle only. Nobody can change. You can just alter your happiness and distress. इस कुछ चीज को बढ़ा के एक happiness को बढ़ाओगे दूसरा happiness reduce हो जाएगा, but overall happiness and overall distress will be the same. So there is no chance of surpassing this destiny. But there is one way to even go beyond the circle. That is to approach a person who is creator of destiny. And in fact, one place it is said that creator of destiny is we ourselves. We have created our own misfortune by misutilizing our free will. So by utilizing our free will and choice, we can break through this destiny. Now, by our misutilization, we have created this misfortune, this destiny, and by our utilizing free will, just like what is free will? You can now, nobody has forced you to sit in the class and attend. You are online, you are sitting at your own place. Your free will, you can just end the meet, you can just leave the meeting and go and continue your whatever work you do. But your free will, you have thought, no, I have to sit in the class and I should hear Prabhuji is talking very nicely. There's some kind of enlightenment I will get. So let me sit and hear. So that is the utilization of your free will. But free will is always there. Anytime you can just leave the meeting and go and continue other work. So the moment you indulge into sense gratification, any sinful activity, that is the misutilization of your free will, and that will lead you in long term, it will reduce your circle of destiny and you have to suffer. Okay, so this is all about free will and destiny, and how can we break through the destiny and achieve that eternal life, real absolute life. What we understood in the beginning itself. Absolute truth. Get that absolute truth which is never ever controlled by time or any space or any surrounding. Then we can achieve that. So with this, we'll stop. And any question if you have, you can stay for next 15 minutes. Otherwise, you can continue your other works. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any question anybody has, you can ask. Or if you like to summarize today's discussion, today's insight, today's gem of wisdom, you can write in the chat box. All of you can write one points in the chat box. And anybody has question to ask, you can write in the chat box. And next 15 minutes we'll have this. So Briz Mohan has written in the chat box, our free will and Krishna can change our destiny. Yes, very nice. By utilizing our free will in good activity, in the activity which is prescribed by Krishna, if we partake into that, then we can change our destiny. We can alter that circle. We can increase, and by misutilizing our free will and choice, we can reduce our circle. Yes. Then next Harika is saying, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, we all are having to choose. Free will is the freedom given to us. Yes. So that freedom we have got. So if somebody says, oh, we don't have freedom, that means no, we have freedom. Freedom of choosing what to choose, what not to choose. But again, result is not there in your, you have just that power to choose by using your free will. Okay, Hare Krishna Prabhu Dandavat Pranam. We all have fixed radius destiny. It can only be modified, changed by Krishna depending on our devotional services. Yes. More diligently you follow the instruction of Krishna, more quickly you can change your destiny. Suppose in your life some suffering was about to come. In your destiny it was there, destined that you will suffer. But now because you are chanting Hare Krishna mantra and serving Krishna, whatever capacity in which you can, trying to follow the instructions of Krishna, then that misery which is going to come, it will get reduced. Because destiny will be changed, no? And it may come, and even it is possible that that suffering may completely get finished if in that same proportion you serve Krishna, you follow the instruction, you chant nicely, you will see that that suffering is now finished. It is almost brought to zero, nil. Yes. Any other point or any other understanding? Any question you can ask? Aditya, do you have any question? Ajay, any question from today's discussion or any other question? Ayush has asked the question. Hare Krishna, sir. I want to ask that it is necessary to read entire Bhagavad Gita so as to learn entire teaching given by Krishna, or is any other alternative way to these teachings? One thing that you regularly attend our classes, all the teachings you will get. And parallelly, you can read also. Bhagavad Gita is not very thick book which you cannot finish in one lifetime. We have till now, from childhood, so many books we have finished, so many novels, so many story books, so many movies we would have seen, and so many things we have done. So this small book Bhagavad Gita, called Bhagavad Gita, having 700 verses. In fact, I have Bhagavad Gita, I can show you one. See, this is the copy of Bhagavad Gita, this much thickness. And like this, how many books we have finished till now in our life? Every semester we have like this 5 to 6 books we read, and we just mug it up and vomit in the exam and forget. But this one book, Bhagavad Gita, which can change your life, which can change your destiny, which can change your, in fact, free will also. As I was saying in the last class, that even in fact, free will is also dependent on your previous upbringing, the kind of upbringing you have. Based on that, you will choose. Suppose your upbringing was you were always indulging into bad habits. So now at this point of time, if suppose I have been asked to choose something, so my free will push me to choose that only, that negative activity, that misdeeds, because I have been accustomed by my past samskar or upbringing to do that one. So free will is also, even though it is free will, it is free will, as the name suggests, you can choose anything. But that free will also is dependent in one sense. It is influenced by your past upbringing, your past samskar, the kind of samskar you have developed in your body mind system. Based on that only you will choose whatever. Okay, so Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I hope Ayush, you have got the answer that Bhagavad Gita reading is very important because this is the manual of our life and all the gems are hidden into this. All the gems which we are discussing in our classes, all these gems are hidden in Bhagavad Gita, related to life, related to this world, related to absolute world, absolute personality, this relative personality, relative truth, all those things. And the mechanism, how all are acting, how we are influenced, how material nature is influencing us, and how to get out of these things. If suppose I have demoniac nature in my nature, qualities are there, how can I get out of this demoniac nature? All these things are very nicely given in Bhagavad Gita. So we should be excited to read Bhagavad Gita in fact. From today itself you can start. Okay. Next, good question. Somebody Rakshita has asked, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, if we are in Krishna consciousness, what food diet to be followed? A good question you have asked. Third chapter, Krishna has described what to eat, what not to eat. That eating style is based on third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna has very nicely described. Maybe in one class, I'll explain that. But for your information, Krishna says, anything you do, if you don't offer it to me and do it directly, then you are doing sin. You are doing sinful activity. So if you are eating anything, either it is vegetarian. First of all, non-vegetarian is strictly not allowed, strictly prohibited. And the second thing, in vegetarian also, onion garlic is not allowed because these foods are rajasic food, rajasic and tamasic food. What is rajasic food? What is tamasic food? That also we'll understand. But currently you can understand that these foods are not good for our consciousness. Maybe it is good for our body. Doctors suggest that onion garlic is very nice for our health, maintaining health, but it is not good for your consciousness. For your inner body, it is not good. For your external body, it may be good, but for your inner body, emotional body, this is not at all good. For your consciousness, onion garlic is not good. So therefore, we don't include in our vegetarian food also. Now it remained only pure vegetarian food like uh, vegetables, grains, and dals, and fruits, liquid items. All these things you can prepare in abundant qualities, quantity and quality also. And these foods, after preparing, after cooking without using onion garlic, you can first offer it to Krishna, then you consume it, then it will become sinless. This food will become sinless. Otherwise, you are eating sin. How it is sin? Because we did not create even a single grain in our factory. None of the scientists till now have created even a mustard seed, but they are so proud, falsely proud they are. All these things are created by whom? Krishna. Ninth chapter, Krishna will say, Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. All these things moving, non-moving, all these creatures, all these things. Gama vishcha bhutani dharyami aham ojasa pushnami chausadi sarva somo bhutvarasadmaka. Like this, Krishna says that everything what is happening in this world, the cause is me. So Krishna is creating everything. Krishna has created oxygen, Krishna has created seeds, Krishna has created all the grains, vegetables, juices in the vegetables. Somo bhutva rasatmaka. Because of me only these vegetables and fruits, they are getting juices inside this. Did you ever question who is putting water in the nariyal to 20 feet height? There is so many nariyals. They are there on the tree, nariyal tree, coconut tree, and who is supplying water, and every nariyal coconut has about half a liter water. And suppose if you mechanically want to do, if you want to supply water from the ground to first floor, then you have to use machine, है ना, by supplying water from ground floor to first floor. But you see in the coconut, 20 feet height, there are so many coconuts hanging in the tree, coconut tree. But in all the coconuts, there are water. Who is supplying that water? Did we ever think? Did we ever question? Acha, who is supplying this? And all the fruits, where from this taste comes in the fruits? Where from it is coming this taste? So juicy. And in mango fruit, suppose mango fruit is so tasty, huh? And the ingredients in the mango fruit is so nice. No scientist can create such kind of fruit, mango. One mango, if you get naturally ripened mango, not artificially. Today people are everywhere, they are putting artificiality by using their free will and intelligence. They are polluting everything. Even fruits also they are polluting. So even natural ripened fruit, mango fruit, you take from the tree and you just take it, eat it, so tasty. You will be contented. You will be fully satisfied by eating one mango. Now, who put all the ingredients, all the materials inside that mango? So Krishna has created all these things. So we never created anything. So this should be out of culture. Suppose somebody gave you are in need of something, you are writing exam, and suppose your pen got there is no ink in your pen, and it is now finished. Your pen is not working, and you have to write exam. This is final semester. Now you will search here and there. Suppose somebody gave you a pen, some of your friends, then you will what you'll do? You will start writing, but after the exam, you will be so thankful to him. No, you will ask thank you, bhai. आपने मुझे पेन दिया. Thank you so much. You will be highly obliged to him just because he gave you pen at right time, at critical time. If there was no pen, you would have not written your exam, then you would have failed in that exam. He sustained you. In the same way, Krishna is giving us everything, this oxygen, this sun, moonlight, sunlight, all the grains, vegetables, but we don't value it. We don't value it, we take it for granted. But in Corona time, people understood, oh, what is the value of oxygen? Huh? When people were suffering, they were suffocating, they were dying, then they understood what is the value of oxygen, which is abundantly available everywhere. Even oxygen became so much precious. So this is a nature, this is gentle behavior. If somebody gave you something, so in return you say thank you. So following the same logic, Krishna has given us everything. So out of concern, out of culture, out of this gentle behavior, we should also thank Krishna. You have given me so much for my sustenance. I thank you. Thank you. So this is called attitude of gratitude. So to show attitude of gratitude, you can offer it to Krishna that my Lord Krishna, here I'm offering this food, even though it is prepared by you, all the ingredients are supplied by you, but I offer it to you. And then by that act, you are offering your gratitude, and then you can eat that. You can partake into that food. This is the way how we um, eat food. Otherwise, anything we eat that is full of sin, and we must suffer. We must suffer the consequence. Krishna in fact third chapter he says, such a person who is not offering food to me and directly enjoying eating, he is a thief. वो चोर है, चोर. स्तेन एव सर. वो चोर है. वो कभी चोर कभी खुश नहीं रहे. So the process is whatever we cook, we offer to the Lord, then only we take. And that is the way how to eat. And they say, as you eat, that you are. The kind of food you have, that kind of mind you will be having, and the kind of mind you have, that kind of action you will have, and the kind of action you have, that kind of reaction will come. And happiness and distress is all dependent on your, that's how it is dependent on your mind. And the mind kaisa hoga? Jaisa khawan, वैसा होगा मन. The way you eat, that kind of mind you will have. So food is very important role it has got. Bad food cooked by bad people, it will have so much of impact upon your consciousness. It can spoil your consciousness. Today, why this so much of fight, so much of disagreement in the family everywhere? It is because there is no proper food cooked by proper person available to eat. People go outside in the restaurant, in the somewhere in the party, and they eat that food. Maybe taste wise it is good, but who has cooked it? All these third class people, these um, servants, people who are hired. And what is their consciousness? We don't know what is their consciousness, with what kind of hygiene, with what kind of all those things they are cooking. So that same consciousness will be transferred into the food also, and those who are eating that food, that consciousness will go to them. And suppose if that person, he was cooking the food with a disturbed mind, so that disturbed consciousness went into the food, and now you are taking that food. Maybe taste wise it is very good, but you will eat that food and your mind will also become disturbed. These are all subtle signs which we don't know today in the society. People are not aware. There are subtle sciences available, like this food science. Food in itself is a great science, which just by following the food habit we can change our consciousness, and we can change our happiness also. We can bring about change. Okay, anyway, so now time is over. With this we'll stop. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.